And we sing thank you and hallelujah, and somehow you're with me now. And we sing thank you and hallelujah, and somehow you're with me now. And we sing thank you and hallelujah, and somehow you're with me now. And we sing thank you and hallelujah, and somehow you're with me now. She carried our fathers and mothers, sweating in the hot Kentucky sun all summer. Like a water runs deep in the caves down under, this one is for grandmother. And we sing thank you and hallelujah, and somehow you're with me now. And we sing thank you and hallelujah, and somehow you're with me now. This family tree's getting taller. Thank God our kin survived life in the holler, where the whiskey's strong and the women stronger. This one is for grandfather. And we sing thank you, sing it with us, hallelujah, and somehow you're with me now. And we sing thank you and hallelujah, and somehow you're with me now. We find truth in spite of religion. Only in the heart can we make a hard decision. Lord, pave the way with a holy vision. This one is for the children. And we sing thank you and hallelujah, and somehow you're with me now. Come on now. We sing thank you and hallelujah, and somehow you're with me now. And we sing thank you and hallelujah, and somehow you're with me now. Yes, we sing thank you and hallelujah, and somehow you're with me now.
Good morning. Thank you all. Thank you all.
Good morning, Ahava Center for Spiritual Living. Ahava is the Hebrew word for love, and we gather together every Sunday knowing that love is always the answer. That's right. I am Reverend Rainbow, so grateful to serve as your spiritual director, and I am so happy to introduce our musical guest today. Give it up for Griffeytown. Tell you a little bit about this wonderful duo. Here, I don't want... You go there. Here we go. There we go. All right. Griffeytown, if you couldn't tell already by their awesome lyrics, are based in the heartland right here in Kentucky, based out of Louisville. Did I say that right? Louisville? I'm a transplant. Right. I grew up in Atlanta, but I lived in Chicago for so long, but my accents come out a little bit. So Louisville. Okay. They are an Americana folk duo comprised of Bex and Katie. And their original songs preserve the nostalgia of their ancestral roots while breathing in fresh life into melodies that awaken the soul. Bex and Katie have traveled from the islands in the Pacific to the eastern seaboard, journeying down south to Mayan islands, sharing health, humor, and an unforgettable experience through the power of song. They first met in 2011, and they completed their first album in 2013. They just got right to it. It must have been a, yes, cosmic connection. They met and started creating. Now they have a catalog of over 40 original songs. They have a new album out. Do check out their table afterwards. And they have a very faithful in-person following, as well as expanding around the world. You can find them on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, all the things. And we are so grateful to have them in person here today at Ahava. Their lyrics, the themes tap into a realm of trauma, addiction, recovery, spiritual connection, and the surprising simplicity of real, authentic love. The melodies range from the haunting mountain wailing that you'll hear in I Will Rise and the lighthearted feel-good swing of Peaches. Bex and Katie's have a palpable reverence for the human experience and the ability to bring forth a salve for the wounded heart. Isn't that what we all need today? Yes. So please give a warm Ahava welcome to Griffeytown again. Thank you. All right. So if y'all want to just sit down and get comfortable a little bit, I'm going to talk and then we'll bring you back up. So who are we? At Ahava, we are a conscious community, committed to curiosity so that we may provide a loving space to be reminded of the truth of who we are. We are an open and affirming community, so whoever you are and wherever you are on your spiritual path of discovery, know that you are absolutely welcome here. If you are joining us online, hello live streamers, thank you for being a part of our virtual and global community. Let us know in the chat where you're tuning in from today. Be sure to hit that like, share, and subscribe button. And if you're in the room, we are a phone-friendly community. Please feel free to take out your phones, take pictures, take little video clips, especially of this amazing music. Share it to all your friends and family and let them know where the love is at today, yes? Just make sure you turn the volume down on your phone first, or you might get a little feedback going on. And we invite you to stick around after service, have some coffee, tea, fellowship as well. And if you're here for the first time for our Sunday gathering experience, we especially welcome you here today. Is there anyone here for the first time? Welcome. Welcome, yes. One of our core council members will give you a little connection card. You can fill out your information so we can stay connected, and we'd love to get to know you more after service as well. We are so grateful for the many people who give each week of their time, talent, and treasure so that we can create this sacred community together. Jean, right over here is our new friend. So truly, we are a community based on all of you. You are the community. What you give, what you share, what you bring brings this center to life. So thank you, and let's just give a little round of applause for all of our volunteers. Thank you, thank you. And now is the time of service where we get to acknowledge that truly we are one, and in such we are all a divine reflection of one another. So I invite you to take a moment, perhaps put your hands over your heart, and turn to someone and say, thank you for being a reflection of me. Yes. So many beautiful reflections. Yes, yes, yes. We have a fabulous vision and purpose here as well, so I invite you to repeat after me. We are an inclusive community.
We are an inclusive community.
Committed to global transformation.
Committed to global transformation.
Through personal evolution. And our purpose, let's do this one together. Are you ready? Wake up, step up, and make a difference. That's right. Today's affirmation is, I start each day with a grand rising. Let's do it. I start each day with a grand rising. That's right. All right. So now I invite you to take a deep breath. Check this out, y'all. We're going to move into our centering. So closing your eyes if that's comfortable. And just focusing on your breath. Allowing your breath to bring you into this now moment. Taking a moment to check in with the physical body. Noticing any sensations in the body. Just scanning the body, getting present with what is right here, right now. Not making any particular meaning, not making anything good, bad, right or wrong. Just simply noticing how you feel right here, right now. And beginning to bring your awareness now to your feeling state. Noticing how you're feeling. Continuing to focus on the breath. And again, just notice the tendency of the mind to want to make certain feelings good or bad, right or wrong. And just let go. So we move into a state of awareness, observation. Simply noticing and naming how you're feeling right now. Taking another nice deep breath. Moving into pure awareness. Letting everything go. As I speak this word, knowing and recognizing the one life that is love, that is peace, that is wholeness. This energy, this life, this source back of all things is the very essence, nature, and truth of my being. I am peace. I am love. I am whole. And it's from this place of oneness that I speak this blessing this day. Knowing that each and every person hearing the sound of my voice right here, right now, that we are one. We are love. We are peace. We are whole. So we come together in this awareness, knowing that we gather together in this sacred community, in this sacred space, to open our hearts and minds to receive what is ours to receive this day, to be inspired by the love and the lyrics and the music and the melodies that lift our heart, to be inspired by the message and the insight through the words that are spoken, to be uplifted through the hugs and hellos and sacred greeting of each person we gather with this day. Knowing that we are one. So I call this day blessed. I call this service blessed, knowing that everything unfolds perfectly. And we let it be. And so it is. And so it is. Yes. So I want to just take a minute before yes, you are ready. Atticus is so ready to do our reading. I just want to take a minute before I invite Atticus up to do today's reading, just to connect and share and give you a little personal update. So many of you know that I was away for a couple weeks in December, and I want to thank everyone who really stepped up and those that covered for me, those of you in the community that stepped up and allow everything to flow smoothly. I had the sacred honor, and I really don't know how else to call it, but a sacred honor to be able to go down to Atlanta, excuse me, and sit and be with my Aunt Sue as she made her transition. This is my mom's sister. And, so when we knew she was moving home, going into hospice care, she was very present, very conscious until the end. And she knew it was time. She was ready. She said her goodbyes, really completed this life in a way that is a model, I would say, to me and to others for what it could be like to make that transition. I'm not saying it was always easy. I mean, honestly, she sat there sometimes like, oh, dying is not for the weak. She was like, ooh, this is something, but I sat there and I was able to just love her up and give her the nurturing and the care that she so provided others her whole life. She was a nurse. She was someone that everyone would turn to, would call, and she would listen without judgment. She was just the greatest listener I knew. And so to be there, to be with her and just, lotion her up, rub her hands. At one point, she asked her daughter-in-law, me, to sing to her. We kind of looked at each other like, okay, here we go. We're not professional. To read to her. And I learned a lot. I'm still processing that, but I just wanted you all to know because I think that those moments in life are, they change a person when you're with someone during that time. And I've actually had the opportunity to be with my grandmother when I was 15 at that stage, my dad when I was 25, and now my aunt. And she kept telling me, she was a student of New Thought. She may have been the one that kind of helped get my parents into this teaching so many years ago. And she really was someone people would turn to for prayer. She would know the truth. She would do her spiritual mind treatments. So that's why I was away. And then I came home to lead our mini path services. Thank you all for coming for that. The candlelight service was amazing. Left the next day to go to Michigan and celebrate Christmas with my wife's family up there. And then came home for a night and traveled back down to officiate her memorial service back down in Atlanta on December 30th. Seeing family then. The other thing I just want to mention, because many of you also know and care for my mom who lives here as a part of our community. The day that my aunt died, my mom was rushed to the hospital. She is still there. Well, she's in rehab now, so she is building her strength. And again, thank you to so many of you who, when I was away, were with her and supporting her. And that's going to be a little bit of an ongoing journey. And so just letting you all know that's kind of what's going on for me. So there may be moments, as we know, grief comes and goes. There's moments where I'm like, yeah, and I'm doing all the things. And then the next day I can't do anything for half a day. And then just being present with it. So thank you all for your grace. And I don't know how to lead a community without being totally honest and vulnerable and authentic. I can't fake it. So just letting you in on my world a little bit, and hopefully it lets you know that this is a safe space to let us in on what's going on for you, because I know I'm not the only one. And in fact, several people in our community also had beloveds that made their transition over this time. There's something that occurs around this time of year. The veil is very thin in the darkness and in the winter. So just take a moment. Let's just take a moment, put our hands on our heart. Just feel into the love that is present. Just notice how you feel now after me sharing this. Perhaps it's brought something up personally for you. And just extending our hearts and love for all those in our community who have been impacted by grief or loss. And those in the collective, as we know, there is so much pain and loss going on in the world today. But we know we can always lean into our hearts and lean into the infinite nature of life and spirit that is moving in as and through all of us. And just allowing the grace to feel our feelings, to be present, to check in, and to show up authentically, no matter what our to-do list may say. Take a deep breath. All right. Thank you all. I love you all. I'm grateful to be back. And now, Atticus, please come share our reading.
We love you, Rachel.
All right, today's reading is a piece titled The Land of Beginning Again by Louisa Fletcher Tarkington. I wish there were some wonderful place called the Land of Beginning Again, where all our mistakes and all our heartaches and all our poor, selfish griefs could be dropped like a shabby old coat at the door and never be put on again. I wish we could come on it all unaware, like the hunter who finds a lost trail. And I wish that the one whom our blindness had done the greatest injustice of all could be at the gate like the old friend that waits for the comrade he's gladdest to hail. We would find the things we intended to do, but forgot and remembered too late. Little praises unspoken, little promises broken, and all of the 1,001 little duties neglected that might have perfected the days of one less fortunate. It wouldn't be possible not to be kind. In the land of beginning again, and the ones we misjudged and the ones whom we grudged their moments of victory here, we would find the grasp of our loving hand clasp more than penitent lips could explain. For what had been hardest we'd know had been best, and what had seemed lost would be gain. For there isn't a sting that would not take wing when we faced it and laughed it away. And I think that the laughter is most what we're after in the land of beginning again. So I wish that there were some wonderful place called the land of beginning again, where all our mistakes and all our heartaches and all our poor selfish griefs could be dropped like a ragged old coat at the door and never put on again.
Welcome back, Ricky Town.
Well, I usually don't talk about Griffey Town, but after that amazing reading, The Land of Beginning Again, Griffey Town is an actual town in Kentucky that was founded by a man named Dan Griffith, who was a freed slave. So in his lifetime, he was not his own, and then he was sovereign. And we were living in that neighborhood when we started singing, but also it's an ideal, that I strive to reach that feeling of sovereignty and community and freedom.
Well, thank you for sharing, Rainbow. That really pulled on my heartstrings. We had a dear friend who we walked home a year and a half ago, and I just want to give a huge thank you and hug to Hospice, because what an amazing organization. So grateful. So yeah, we've got our song titles sprinkled all over the table in the front room. Please take a look at them. We have our Give Butter campaign. As independent artists, we're asking for donations so that we can get these songs out of the studio, recorded, and into your all's ears. Free the music, that's our campaign. This song is called Traveler's Lullaby. This is one that Katie wrote after we traveled to the Yucatan and saw pyramids for the first time. So enjoy Traveler's Lullaby.
Watching you watch your thoughts, waiting for a plane to take us away from ourselves. Standing with our lives on our back, it's easy to be somebody else. It's early, so much hope, only sweet things have we said. If we can hold it in this moment, oh, the shadows will forget. Oh, take me away to a place with nothing, and we'll have time to say everything. Let me see it from another point of view. An angel's an angle of light. If we can open up to new, an angel of mercy will take flight. Follow an endless road, we're just passing through a sea of butterflies ahead. Golden are the faces that you made, and silver are the words you said. Oh, take me away to a place with nothing, and we'll have time to say everything. Still like summer air, time doesn't move. Our minds meet in between. It's hollow and it holds us for as long as we need. Oh, sweetheart, we're carrying a heavy, empty load. Let us lay our burdens down and meet with friends along the road. Oh, take me away to a place with nothing, and we'll have time to say everything. Thank you all. I can feel the love and presence is so palpable, tangible. Thank you for creating that and letting us step into it.
Give it up. Oh, that's on me. Hello, hello. Yeah, very good. All right, give it up again for Griffey Town. Truly a divine appointment. Kim D'Amata was scheduled to do music today. There we go. And unfortunately has COVID. So send Kim love. She's doing fine, but, prayers up. And, and it's one of those things. It's midweek, and like, okay, here comes Sunday. And Kim had let me know about Griffey Town about a month ago, and I started checking out their music, and I was like, okay, yeah. So I reached out. I was like, hey, we'd love to have you at Ahava sometime. This was, right before the holidays, and then all this stuff happened. And then I was like, well, might as well. Let's just see if they happen to be available in 3 days and want to pull together a service full of music. And when they wrote back and said, yes, we could do it, that was a sigh of relief. And are we grateful? Are we blessed? Yes. Yes, yes, yes. So, and knowing you're just down the road, I know you're going to be touring some, but we'll have to have you back because you're not too far. So, well, Happy New Year, everyone. It is a new year, and, I think it's interesting sometimes the amount of energy, rather, without lack of a better word, that comes, all this focus around the new year and new beginnings. But if you kind of go back to different indigenous practices, there's always been this idea of cycles, right? And cycles in life. And I think that there is, especially when you look at nature, there is so much to be learned about leaning into these cycles, the rhythm of life. There's times in life that summer for us here, lots of daylight. I could be out until 9 o'clock and not realize, oh, it's 9 o'clock, right? And just swimming at the pool, having a grand day. And then winter, all of a sudden, it gets dark at 5, and I feel like it's time for bed. I'm like, what is going on? But I must trust Mother Nature that if I were to go at 120% until 9 p.m. every day, that would be unsustainable, right? So instead, we have these cycles, and we get to lean into more times of rest, of introspection, contemplation, that the winter and the dark months bring. And then we have these moments of transition where we get to mark things like endings and beginnings. So last week we had our burning bowl ceremony where we let go of those patterns and ideas and beliefs and habits that no longer serve us, those things that we consciously are saying we do not want to bring that into this new year. And today we have the opportunity to step into the new year with a conscious intention. So our theme this year with Centers for Spiritual Living, that's the greater organization that we are part of, the theme is called A Grand Rising. And this idea of grand rising is a greeting similar to good morning, and it's mostly in the Black community, and it allows us to start our day with intention, right? A grand rising. And it's kind of based on various spiritual meanings, but one of them being this African spirituality around the idea that when we sleep, when we dream, that although our body is resting, our spirit and our soul is kind of traveling. It's still awake, doing its thing. Perhaps that's what our dreams are. And so grand rising is an expression to speak to this idea that our spirit has returned to our body and we rise up, and it's a greeting, a gratitude for greeting the day anew in our body as we are now. And this idea as a theme for Centers for Spiritual Living this year came from one of our ministers, my colleague, Reverend KC. Shout out to KC, she's in our Facebook community group too. And she shares a story that inspired her of 3 Black youth in a homeless shelter in Oklahoma City. They connected, became roommates, and immediately found community and support. They had a very optimistic viewpoint on their life, although their circumstances may have led others to believe otherwise. They really focused on their own understanding of spirit and God within themselves. And through supporting each other and lifting each other up, were able to navigate the complicated social services systems in order to get their basic needs met. Managing their challenges, they were able to lean into spiritual practices. They put up vision boards on their walls. They sought spiritual wisdom through oracle cards and really used affirmations to affirm each other on their life path. One of them found a TikTok that inspired them with this greeting of Grand Rising. And they began to adapt this greeting, Grand Rising, and they invited the shelter staff as well, instead of saying good morning, to say Grand Rising. They created a large poster in their room that said Grand Rising. And not long after that, one of the youth reunited with their family, and then the other 2 were able to set out for an adventure in California. And they have kept in touch with the shelter staff, who has heard that they are doing very well. So this story of these 3 young people who, despite circumstances, applied spiritual practice and awareness and community to lift them out of those circumstances into a life that works for them. That story is what inspired this theme, a grand rising. And so how can we take this idea and incorporate it in our own lives, yes? Whatever our circumstances may be, so that we can rise above the lack, the limitation that is appearing in our lives, to rise with gratitude, with optimism, to start our day with such intention that it lifts us out of the mundane. In my family, when my daughter was 3, we read this Care Bears book that said, start each day with a happy note. So that kind of became our mantra, start each day with a happy note. And still we remind each other when the grumpies happen in the morning. And it's not always her, often it's the adults, right? We wake up just as grumpy, and don't get that twisted. And we have an agreement, that we can remind each other, start each day with a happy note. So I invite you to reflect on your own morning when you wake up. Are you having a grand rising? Are you starting each day on a happy note? Or are you picking right back up on what happened yesterday? So we have this wonderful thing called sleep, where everything quiets. We can stop the meh of our mind or whatever is going on, and even, aches and pains there. When we are able to finally fall asleep, everything quiets and stills. And it's kind of like New Year's Eve every night. So instead of just making intentions in the new year, we can do this every morning. We can wake up and notice, become aware, intentional of how we want to create our day. I think of it kind of like literal baggage, right? So whatever's occurred in the day, we have all our stories, all of our life, and it's like, to go to sleep, we actually have to set our baggage down by the side of the bed, fall asleep. Do we wake up? Do we pick that right back up? Or are we willing to allow something new? How would our day unfold if we were to literally let the past be the past and start with a conscious intention? Speak our affirmations. Take a moment of breath, meditation, affirmation, prayer, whatever the practice is that really resonates for you. Take a moment just to love yourself up, Maybe you want to create a little sacred place, or even just on your mirror when you go to brush your teeth, you can have some affirmations. You can have a few things there that remind you of the truth of who you are. That can, instead of turning to the default programming of our mind that wants to blah, 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 what do I have to do today based on who I was yesterday and this and that, the other, to really have a clean slate. Happy New Year. Grand rising, happy new day. What do we want to create? So this time of year, we're often setting intentions, and they can be very, the word that's coming to me isn't quite right, but like physically focused, but materially focused, maybe that's the better word. If we were to look to advertising and TV, and we're just inundated with messages, right? And so marketing has kind of taken this idea of a new year to say, now's your chance to go to the gym and eat healthy and be a new you and all of these kind of things. And often what happens is we start out like, yeah, and then by February, we have exhausted our energy and we start to beat ourselves up, and then it just becomes this cycle of guilt and shame. So instead, what if we were to every day set these little micro intentions? Because truly, habits, if you want to shift your life, these habits have to happen in a consistent way. And often these big, I'm going to do this and I'm going to do that, have a lot of energy behind them for a minute and then collapse, and then we start all over with the self-doubt and the shame and the rah, 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 rah. So what I'm interested in this year is those micro moments, those ways that we can support each other with our intention, with shifting our beliefs and habits, but looking within to those, what's really driving that, Is our desire to eat healthy really about health and wellness, or is it about some idea that we've been told that our body has to look a certain way? Is that based on a shame or a fear or a lack or a doubt? Or is it driven by something that feels more pure and authentic to the truth of who we are in expression? And then how can we use our spiritual practices and tools to align with that, to keep us on our path and remind each other when we forget, because we will, life happens, and to remind each other, grand rising, each moment, not even every morning. Sometimes you might need to reset your day in the middle of the day. I'm thinking, like some kind of like a reset button. What can you do? Like carry with you something, have something that's like that reset button, just to like, hey, pause, stop, walk away, breathe. Breath is the ultimate reset. Remind ourselves of who we truly are. To be aware of what we're saying, what we're doing, and to begin to cultivate such awareness of the observer mind on our life that we can lovingly bring ourselves back in alignment with our values and our intentions. When we find ourselves saying or doing something that didn't quite feel right, or maybe later our mind looks up like, yeah, I was definitely in fear or lack or doubt when I was saying that. To then lovingly bring ourselves back to the truth. Dr. Ernest Holmes, the founder of the Science of Mind teaching, which is our core teaching here, he says in the Science of Mind textbook, we should learn to control our thought processes and bring them into line with reality, capital R, not lower R reality. Let's get that straight, right? Bring them in alignment with reality, love, wholeness, peace. Thought should tend more and more towards an affirmative attitude of mind that is positive, stable, and above all else, towards a real unity with spirit that is already complete and perfect. So starting our day with these positive intentions, with this intentional connection by communing with spirit, by reminding ourselves of the truth of who we are, this can bring this energy with us throughout our day, letting love lead the way. And when we find ourselves caught up with something here or there, reset, breathe. This is how we truly apply these principles of Science of Mind to our life, by being aware throughout our day and knowing the power of our intention. So this is very different than perhaps a New Year's resolution. When we shift towards this idea of intention setting, it can create with a more consciousness, conscious awareness of that we are not going at it alone. It's not something we have to muscle through. When we set an intention, there's an energy within that intention that has its own resonance, its own vibration that we can align with and allow it to guide us forward. So another tool that we use often here is this practice of visioning. And I want to speak just briefly about the difference between visioning and visualization. Visualization is also a powerful tool. I'll start with that one because it may be something that's a little bit more familiar. So visualization is this idea of we have a desire, and we're going to picture it in our mind's eye as if it is manifest. We're going to see ourselves on stage doing the thing, right? We're going to feel it with all of our senses. This is a very, powerful practice. And I like to kind of step back, and before we move into visualization, to do more of the listening, of the meditation, of the visioning practice, to then guide what our intentions will be, that then we can apply the practices of visualizations and affirmations and affirmative prayer to then demonstrate or manifest in our lives. But if we don't do this first step, then often what we are visualizing or wanting to manifest may be coming more from our ego mind, right? Or what the world told us we should do, or this part of us that feels like I have to achieve something in order to be whole, so I have to do this with my life, so I'm going to visualize doing that. What is the motivation underneath that? Because that energy is what is actually going to be expressed at some point. So if we don't clear it up on the inside, we may go so far with these visualization practices and demonstrate the new car and the new job and the relationship, but if we don't do our inner healing and we've manifested this from a place of lack or doubt or unworthiness, that's going to show up at some point, and it's all going to come crumbling down. So we start with visioning here. This community was built on the practice of visioning. Visioning is a practice, much like meditation, where we turn within and we listen, where we allow the divine idea for something in our lives to be known. We do this by going into this meditation practice and asking, right, what is God, Spirit, Life's highest vision for my life? What is the divine idea for my relationship, for my career, for my health? Visioning takes us back to that place of the infinite, of the wholeness, and allows us to listen and to create from that place what we desire, as opposed to from our, what some may call the ego mind, right? You kind of following? Yes, all right. And with visioning, there may be things that come forward that don't make sense to us. We may get a message or hear a lyric or see a symbol or something that, like, I don't get that. But the key is not to judge, just to write it down and let it guide you. And then all of a sudden you'll start to notice things. Okay, right? Because then we're working with the field of the infinite as opposed to trying to make something happen from our own will. We are surrendering and working with the infinite. And we're fully supported. And I'm not saying there's still going to be stuff when we do our visioning and we start moving forward if we're unhealed and we have those beliefs that, still need to be transformed about unworthiness and lack and doubt. That stuff will still come up. And when we remain open and aware to notice it, we don't have to believe it is the truth of who we are. We can say, there it is again. There's that belief. There's that idea. Reset. Lean into our practices. Keep moving forward. Keep moving forward. So this afternoon, we're going to be offering our visioning and vision board workshop. Vision boards, as it was mentioned in that story, is a powerful way to see what we desire in a way that it keeps telling our minds, it gives our minds those mental pictures of what we desire. And I'd say in today's world where now it's not only advertising, but every car and billboard, anything can be used as marketing now. Sky, I mean, everything, right? So messages are just everywhere. And so the more that we can put in front of our mind's eye messages of truth that we desire, then it can help to quiet the noise and hone in. And the more that we can be intentional as we see those things, this is a practice I do, instead of just letting it kind of pass by in the subconscious mind, call it out, like, oh, and that's not true, or yeah, like notice it. Don't just let it kind of go through. Like, no, oh, they're trying to manipulate. That's not truth for me, right? Like, call it out, notice it, and then place in front of your heart and mind that which you desire. So these vision boards is a tool for that. And I'm going to lead you through a visioning process and then create our vision board. So unlike some people that do vision boards by just having an idea already, we're going to allow spirit to open, that picture. Ooh, what does this mean? And we might raise the vibration of the whole. And that's why I just want to mention as well, this book is so powerful, The Four Pivots. So this is the book of the month, and Centers for Spiritual Living is offering a free book study on this book on Tuesday nights. It started last week. I'm not exactly sure, but I would imagine you can still try to sign up and get in for the next few weeks. And I'm going to be touching on some of these points, but Dr. Jen Wright also is the keynote speaker at the upcoming convention for CSL, which is going to be in Charleston, South Carolina in February. And the four pivots, reimagining justice, reimagining ourselves. He talks about this work, how when doing justice work in the world, if we do not first turn within and do our own healing, we are doing the work from a place of unhealed, where all of our own traumas and stuff will come out and will affect the work and will not allow it to really make the impact we want it to make, right? So it's like this both and. So we often hear, you have to heal yourself first, and the work starts within ourselves. And it's not a selfish thing. We're not, just burying our heads in the sand and it's all about me, right? It's that paradox again. It's all about me and it's not all about me. So we turn within to heal. So the first pivot in the book is from lens to mirror. So lens being out there and the work that we do in the world and the justice work and those things that we desire for the world, and mirror being taking a moment to look within and to heal what comes up when we're doing that work in the world and we find ourselves getting really, perhaps there's a belief or something within ourselves to then look at, and how can we support ourselves in healing, transforming, leaning into community, leaning into our spiritual practices so that the work that we are doing in the collective is sustainable and can make the most benefit, yes? So I'm excited to dig in this month, this year, on a grand rising, and just deciding where I'm going to go here. Let me share this quote. I'm going to wrap it up by just sharing this quote by Dr. Sean Ginwright. He says, "We need a fundamental shift in our values, a pivot in how we think, act, work, and connect. Despite what we've been told, the most critical mainspring of social change isn't coalition building or problem analysis, it's healing, deep, whole, systemic, inside and out." So this week, I invite you to create your own grand rising ritual. Lean into support of community if you need ideas. And start each day on a happy note, setting those intentions. So let's go into prayer. Take a nice deep breath. How good it is to know, right here, right now, there is one life, one source back of all things, this cosmic isness that is joy, that is peace, that is wholeness, that is love, that is freedom, that is creativity. This infinite source of pure potentiality that is the very world we live in, within and without. This one life that is living and moving and having its being right here, right now, in, as, and through all of us. So we take this moment to consciously align with this truth, to remember who I am. I am. I am peace. I am whole. I am love. I am worthy. I am free. So I know as we move throughout our week that we remain open and aware, noticing when it's time to hit that reset button, to breathe, and to once again align ourselves with the truth of wholeness, of love, of peace, of joy. I'm so grateful. So grateful to know this truth, so grateful to know that this prayer is manifest. As I release this word into the action of the law that always says, yes, my beloved, it is done, and it is so. And together we say, and so it is. Yes, Grand Rising. Welcome back, Griffey Town.
Well, this was going to be the finale song, but it's not now. This song is called I Will Rise. And if you all want to create a little micro moment for yourself for your everyday grand rising, you might want to stand up. You might want to put your hands above your head.
All right.
You might want to like move your hips a little, maybe.
We could do that.
Just like get into the body.
All right.
Do we have guitar coming through? Okay. Thank you. Thank you.
Lonely night feels like 1,000 years. All I wish for is for this to feel like home. Scars can be hidden like the memories I'm forgetting, but a broken heart won't heal till I move on. I've cried for the babies, I've cried for myself. Every tear's a little part of you and me. I've buried those I love and let them fly away like doves, a divine and awful mystery. But my feet won't falter if I'm dancing strong. My hands won't ring if I raise them high. I won't cry if I sing all night long. I'm standing strong 'cause life won't shake us if we rise. I will rise up early in the morning. I will rise late at night. And I will go to the places that call my name, and in the darkness I'll find the light. Oh, oh, When the empty house whispers, I will listen close. When thunder hollers down, I will hear. Oh, my love, come to me tonight. Remind me I've got nothing left to fear. Even on the coldest night, I will rise. Will you be by my side? Oh, never mind, my love, tomorrow's just a dream. But tell me, will you rise with me tonight? 'Cause my feet won't falter if I'm dancing strong. My hands won't ring if I raise them high. I won't cry if I sing all night long. I'm standing strong 'cause life won't shake us if we rise. I will rise up early in the morning. I will rise late at night. And I will go to the places that call my name, and in the darkness I'll find the light. Oh, my feet won't falter if I'm dancing strong, and my hands won't ring if I raise them high. Oh, my love, come to me tonight. Remind me I've got nothing left to fear.
Oh, thank you all for getting up. I say that's that little micro moment. We just carry that with us.
Now I'm on. All right. So now we're going to move into our time of conscious giving, where we get to practice this law of circulation, knowing that as we give, we receive, and it's all in the flow. So we give from the overflow to support this amazing community. We're going to pass a basket in the room, but there's also several ways you can give online. You can go to our website and click the giving tab there, ahavacenter.net. You can also text the word give to 859-209-6996. So I invite you now just to repeat after me. Divine love as me blesses and multiplies all that I have. All that I give, and all that I receive. I joyously contribute to the vision of Ahava, knowing it returns to me multiplied abundantly. And so it is. Yes. All right. She stepped away. All right. I'm going to move into the announcements before we bring Griffey Town back up for a couple more songs here as we pass the basket. So if we could go to that's today, Visioning Workshop. It's on donation basis, so please don't let money be a hindrance. Stick around with us. You'll have time to run, grab a quick lunch and come back. We're going to start at 12:30, so we have about 45 minutes before we get started, and it will be in here. You can see some of the supplies already set up. Next, we have our chakra class coming up based on the root chakra. That is going to be movement-based and various kind of expressive arts that will be led by Denise Woolfolk. She did a workshop earlier last month, and it was amazing. So that's coming up on Saturday morning, January 20th. You can sign up online. All of these things, you can go to our website or in our e-newsletter, our web, and our social media, all the places. We have a shamanism workshop coming up to clarify your personal vision. It's amazing practice led by our very own Melissa Condor, who is here today. Yes, so you can talk to her with questions about that. She has done training in 2 different traditions of shamanism, and we'll be integrating those into the workshop. We have our class coming up, Change Your Thinking, Change Your Life. This is our new foundations class. If you are new or newer to this teaching and you want to know what it's all about, Foundations is the place. We will talk about how life gets to be the way it is, this creative process unfolding as our thoughts and our beliefs becoming our experience, and how to use these tools such as meditations and affirmations and affirmative prayer. All of that in this amazing class. It's going to be hybrid, so you can do it online or in the room. And lastly, we have our grief circles also forming at the end of January. If you are not on our mailing list, check out, fill out one of those cards again and make sure, then we'll know to check to make sure we have your correct email. Because I know in today's world, emails change often, things get lost sometimes and data merging and whatnot. But we send out an email every week with all of these things where you can easily click and learn more and sign up for all the things. Please know, especially for that foundations class, that there are scholarships, there's work, study, trade, volunteer opportunities. We again, do not want money to be an obstacle for anyone, and we will support you in getting this teaching and these practices and being able to dive deeper into this work. We have a number of ongoing events as well. You can find that out on our website. Let's bring back up Griffey Town for another song.
This next song is called The Path, and we have the honor of having this song placed at the end of an audiobook that's available on Audible. It's called The Sistine Chapel is Our DNA. The author of that book is actually in this room right now. It's not us. But this song is called The Path.
Thank you, Jerry Gordon.
It's an
It's
amazing
fascinating,
book.
audible. You
It's-
have to check it out.
I can't even begin to describe it.
Katie's one of the reading voices on it, which is beautiful, and another friend, multiple people that Jerry pulled in to make that happen for our communities and also for the Ashwar tribe.
100% of the proceeds from the audiobook go to preserve the rainforest in the Amazon.
through the people of the rainforest.
I wish for you a life filled with love, the strength to be soft and trust what you're made of. The branches grow higher, the roots they go deep. We'll meet in the middle, hand on heartbeat. You're a candle in a cavern, a bright star at sea, a song in the silence, a solved mystery. There's nothing you can't do, be, or have. You won't see a trail when you're making the path. So take hold what feeds you and let go the rest. If thoughts grow heavy, come back to your breath. And if your heart is racing, grace will come fast. It's close as your breath, just remember to ask. I wish for you a life filled with love, the strength to be soft and trust what you're made of.
And a reminder, yes, let's make our own paths. We don't have to follow the same old trails that we've been led on. We've got this. The field is ours.
Am I on? Yeah. A reminder that we have licensed spiritual practitioners here to support you with prayer. You can fill out a prayer request in the prayer box there. You can also submit a prayer request online. And as I mentioned, Kim was supposed to be here today, but she's not feeling well. I don't know if Patty's here today, so she'll pray if you are, even though she's not on duty. Thank you, Patty. If you really need some in-person prayer, Patty, you can meet her in the practitioner corner there. Patty in the corner. No. Make sure you check out Griffey Town's table of music, support their music, support live music, and let us now stand. As we bring this service to a close, I invite you to repeat after me, something wonderful is happening to me right now.
Something wonderful is happening to me right now.
It's this thing called life.
It's this thing called life.
Life is in my mind.
Life is in my mind.
Life is in my body. Life is in my affairs. I accept it. I am it. I share it. Just the way it appears. And just the way it appears not. Thank you, life. Yes. Do we have another song? Yes. Great. Come on up. They're going to give one more song as we hug and hello and say goodbye.
The hello and goodbye song. Let's see.
We could do it peaches. We could do, oh, I know. We could do this.
We could do pages. Oh yeah, little love. Yeah.
We didn't know we had a Ahava theme song, but we do.
It's called A Little Love Will Go a Long Way.
Well, you say you're sorry. It's okay, it was already broken. Don't you worry about my heart. I'm feeling fine, hanging heavy on the vine, holding on through wind so strong. And night comes fast. I climb the hills and ask for a star to shine on me till dawn. And you walk by, you give your loving on the fly. A little love will go a long way. A little love will go a long way. Sing with us. A little love will go a long way. A little love will go a long way. Well, you say forgive me. It's okay, it was me who lost it. Don't you worry about my mind. Love ain't no thing, it's just like walking in the rain. But the little voices tell me that ain't so. They whisper to me, soldier, retreat. Oh, they're gonna take you down real slow. And you walk by, you give your loving on the fly. A little love will go a long way. 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 A little love will go a long way.
My favorite part.
You say I love you. It's okay, I can finally take it. Don't you worry about my soul. We've come undone just to find that we are one. And darling, what a life we have begun. Some holler danger, but we find it stranger to live a life that's less than fun. And you walk by, you give your loving on the slide. A little love will go a long way. 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 Yeah. A little love will go a long way. 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 A little love will go a long way.
Thank you all. This was so much fun.
Ahava.